All right, everyone. So yeah, this is the big update. I know everybody's been texting and calling me about like what's up, what's going on, right? So welcome back again to Growing Up Alien, and today we have Erica back because she has quite a few updates for us on the Starseed envoy situation, and not only her own very unfortunate health issues that are happening right now, as you guys know, and we're all sort of keeping her in our thoughts, that speedy healing up on this difficult situation. So, yeah, it's just a wonderful living the dream day again here on planet Earth. And I know everybody's so excited and happy to be here. And, with that, I will, I'll hand this over to you, Erica, and you can begin to address the situations.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I wanted initially to just go into a part two
Yeah.
and talk about my story, but shit happened. And through very unfortunate circumstances on my end, like in more attempts on my life, I was sucked into, what do I call it? Galactic Federation drama.
Yeah.
But I have the advantage. So just a quick backstory. There was another attempt on my life. There was an abduction, and a my lab after that, and I was left for dead. I was curled up on the in the fetal position on my bed, sick, infected, and dying. And so I was rescued again because we never get to just die. But the people who rescued me, took a lot of more of my amnesia, whatever it's called, off. And so I was called to speak for the envoys now because what we're going through is bullshit and it's too much and it's an uneven playing field. So about when was it? About a week ago,
Mm,
maybe, that this all started.
yeah, yeah.
So I have a contact. I'll call him Clark for now.
He didn't like Ned Zarino, so anyway.
No, he didn't like Iris either, or
Oh,
Edna.
yeah. Or Edna.
Yeah, we can't name him, but
He who cannot be named.
he who cannot be named, but in a good way. So,
But
I
he
don't
did
even know
clarify the fart joke situation, which I was very happy about.
how. Anyways, after I was left for dead, my team came and got me and my contact, and they asked me if I would speak for all envoys. And, you know, in the situation I was in, yeah, yeah, I will, because I don't want anyone to ever have to suffer as much as I've suffered. And I know that all you guys listening have suffered, and I'm just done. And so, here we go.
Yeah.
So my contact, after watching me go through this, had had enough, and he has clout upstairs. Um, he made a bold move, and I think that you had mentioned it in your last podcasts, what he had done, risking his life, risking his position. And he told them if they didn't listen to me, he would quit. And he can't quit because they need him. So he used that, you know. Um, I was After I was healed, I was immediately told to prepare for a meeting. And, I'm in my bedroom, I'm sick, I'm on IV, TPN, and antibiotics. This is my food, this is my nutrition now because I have no life and I can't eat on my own. I was beamed up with my IV pole in my underwear and t-shirt, and I was thrown into a meeting. And it's it's interesting that, it was just my situation that I wanted to argue, but I was pulled into this first council meeting. It was the Council of Zagar. How do you say that? Zagara?
Yeah, Zagara. Yeah.
Zagara. Zagara. Um, Let me get my notes here. I had an argument for them. So I'm standing there in front of everybody, and this is my argument. I made this statement, I had my team behind me, I had my guy behind me, I had a lot of people behind me. I just don't think anybody has ever understood exactly what we go through as envoys. My statement was that it makes no sense that there are councils that decide what happens to human beings when nobody in these councils have the proper empathy and the proper ability to have been in a human's shoes for a day, in an envoy's shoes. They had no idea. Um, I argued, how can you make decisions for us? How can you have these rules and these laws when you don't know, you know? Sorry, I'm nervous. I was calm when I was in the meeting, but on the inside, like I was just seething. My notes. My notes are cutting out, sorry.
No worries.
I said, from now on, unless you have experienced the life of an envoy, experiencing rape, torture, abuse, trying to suffer through the abuse, live with poisoned air, poisoned food, poisoned water, fear of targeting, attacks, homelessness, cold, being hungry, demonic and archonic attacks, unless you've been utterly alone and disconnected from source, disconnected from your heart, disconnected from your ability to know anything good, you have no right to decide anything for us ever. And what I was shown was that they do love us, but the way they were watching over us was like I described to you, Andrea, like if you have a hermit crab and you put water and food in there in the little hermit crab pen, and you're like, oh, they have everything they need to live, they're fine. Yet inside that little shell, the hermit crab is like suffering, dying, miserable every second. They couldn't know. Like they just weren't capable of really understanding, and our counterparts as envoys, they understand, but they weren't heard either. So this isn't on them because they were not listened to either. I continued. I have people calling me from all over the world who want to die. They are suffering so greatly with absolutely no chance of finding their way out. They have been so isolated that there is no feasible chance that they will ever get to remember who they are. I said, you guys state that we are supposed to figure this out, figure this game out on our own, and remember who we are and, go through all of this. But we're on an uneven playing field. How are we supposed to even exist with like we're getting zapped by DEW weapons at night. We've got satellite frequencies constantly monitoring and keeping us not disconnected.
Oh yeah.
Um, the satellite tech's zapping our brains, the radio frequencies, the cell towers, the dark agents that are keeping us from being able to even afford food or live or anything. It's an uneven playing field, and I don't think a lot of these things were considered when there were rules made for envoys. We've got mind wipes, we've got grays, we've got reptilians, we've got fourth dimensional, and who knows, I'm sure there's hundreds of others ET races feeding off us that we don't even know about, in a negative manner. my point to them was, and I'm standing there, really, my pole was beamed up too, and my IV fluids, and like I'm standing there like, what kind of, look at me. I depend on bags of fluid to keep me alive. So tell me how this is working. Tell me, tell me. And they couldn't. I stated that I do not believe that any council up here is aware that with all of this going on, many of us will have no choice but to end our lives just to stay sane and not have our souls scarred permanently.
No, too late on that one, I think.
I know.
That ship sailed.
We're working. Yeah.
Ship sailed. It's the
So
Titanic.
I'm like, please help me understand this. How do you feel like we can get out of this on our own? If you can show me show me in my own life with what I'm up against right now, how many get out? Again, I said, I understand that you want us to heal, and remember who we are, but at this point, it's way past possible. I believe that you did not consider this, nor the level of technology that had been placed upon envoys to prevent this.
Yeah.
You cannot expect anyone to be able to fight what they cannot see and fight technology that we're not even aware exists that's being used against us. There's a huge problem down here that I don't believe is being addressed. And I know you have heard about it, but it's fallen upon deaf ears. And then I realized that a lot of them don't have ears, so I had to like rephrase that. But you know what I meant. I was like deaf ears or deaf telepathy or whatever. You just haven't paid attention. I requested that, so they asked me, well, what do you want from the council? And I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what my opinion. I said, those who cannot hold love or proper empathy or proper compassion, who have no experience
Yep.
with what it feels like down here. Now, all of our counterparts up there do. They know. And they are meeting for us because they know they need to be listened to now. Like, and I'm not saying, and another issue that I had with them is this isn't something that you guys can start having meetings for and then figure out 30 years from now. It has to be done within the next 72 Earth hours.
Right. Yeah.
I was livid. And I had Clark Kent with me. They couldn't even be in the meeting, so he's like feeding me all my comfort songs so that I can get through this meeting. Um, so what happened? They agreed. Some of them they agreed. Like I was blown away because so
Yeah.
for now, in regards to the envoy program, the beings up there that can't quite fully see the big picture of what we're going through are not going to be the ones that have any clout or say in this. With honor, I mean, it wasn't an insult to them. It was just like, okay, step back and let some of our partners or our mates do this because they know. I was pulled out of that meeting and I just couldn't believe that I had been able to share this clearly, considering how sick I am and that I'm holding on to my pole for strength. Um, I was brought out of this meeting and, my family gave me hugs and they're like, you can do this, but you got to go into another one now. And I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck? So again, I'm thrown into a different meeting, but this meeting was unfair. I didn't know who was in it. I can't see who's in it. I can't see what they're thinking or talking about. I just have to wait until they ask me a question and then answer. So I was blind in the second meeting. So I waited until it was my turn to speak, and then I waited for them to directly um, ask me, because that's how you have to follow the rules. So I was asked, what are your requests? What are your demands? What do you need? And I started speaking before I was aware of what I was even going to say. It was like all my 50 years of frustrations and bullshit that I had been through was all stored up in there. And it was like waiting. So this is what I asked. I said, I want the following that I'm about to tell you to be done for the envoys right now, like within the next 72 hours. No deliberating for another 500 years, just right the fuck now. It had to be done now because personally, as Erica, I'm here picking up emails and people writing me constantly that they can't live, they're not going to make it, they're suicidal every day. Every single day. I have my clients that, and I'm not here saying, "Oh, don't do it. You have something to live for." They have a legitimate reason.
Oh,
Getting
they don't
ahead of
want to work
myself.
a 50-hour a week and scrounge and get dirt kicked in their face and
So this is what I requested for everybody. I want all technology that allows DEW weapons, satellite tracking for the use of direct energy weapon attacks on envoys to be dissolved, null, and void instantly. With this, I was shown instantly satellites that are orbiting around the planet completely zapped. They were, I don't know what the word is, but they showed me that they could do this.
and
And so for the last 3 nights,
yeah,
I watched.
they left them up. Why were they still up?
Exactly, exactly. Oh, and I asked that. They didn't know. They didn't know that there was a connection. We're on an uneven playing field. A lot of the stuff happening to us, nobody has any idea. So that's being taken down. I noticed last night that there was a huge break for me personally because I'm constantly have things affecting my head at night. I saw them, they let me see them, that they were taken down. And so I want anybody watching this, if you're an envoy, try to see if you have any kind of peace because I know that some of those were completely obliterated and that they're not going to affect us as much.
Yeah,
So
I don't
anybody,
have
I
like right
need
now I'd be
feedback.
exhausted.
Pardon me?
I don't right now I'd be exhausted, but I actually have energy. So I
Yeah,
noticed around that time when we were talking that I'm strangely not constantly, I'm like constant, I can't work a full-time job. I can't work a job because my fatigue is so bad.
I can't even walk to the bathroom without fainting. I know. Like, how can you have a
But
job?
that's been gone. Like, and I clean past, usually like I'll do work outside and that just burns. I have nothing left. And
But have you noticed in the last 3 or 4 days?
and
Okay,
yeah,
so
like
if
right now I'm like,
anybody else,
yeah, no brain fog.
if
Like usually I'm like, oh, I can't even see.
right, right. If anybody else has noticed that, please put your comments in the comment section because if I don't know
Right.
that
You need to
things are
know.
happening, like
Right. You gotta fix
if and if I feel like because they made me what was it, the liaison between envoys and the councils. Um, so if something is happening to you and you're not getting the help that we're talking about, please write. You can email me or write it under her YouTube. You can keep it completely confidential too.
Yeah, they can use my email, my emails, my Facebook's there, but put it anything you want to say in the comments. Just say I need help or something, or just some kind of comment saying I gotta, and I will. You can reply, Erica, and I can reply too with
Right, because your YouTube comment section, your email and my email are being monitored now just for this.
Oh,
So
yeah, right, yeah.
the second thing I requested, I want the last 10% of agents, targeting agents, people that portal into our bedrooms, people that are doing voice to skull, people who are paid to just fuck with us so that we're miserable. I want them gone. And they explained to me that that's not going to be as easy. And I said, okay, fine, then completely nullify their technology
Yeah,
that they can't use it. So that was agreed. Um, Last night or the night before, I noticed that because I know what portals sound like in my room.
yeah.
When I'm targeted, if somebody's going to portal into my room, I'll hear my ceiling crack or my wall crack, or I'll hear the TV pop. Pops and cracks in your bedroom is not from an old house. It's portal technology coming in and out.
Is
That's what makes our houses crack. Houses don't settle after, yeah. And I'll explain a lot of this in my story, like when we do a part two, if we do a part two, but a lot of what I've been dealing with and how to how to tell if there's portals are in a lot of my information. So I asked that that be anything that is specifically involved in remotely affecting envoys in a negative manner, affecting our memory, abducting, um, doing MK Ultra, because what they use is the technology that it literally, after your day is done, it'll either rewind you or wipe you again so that you have to, it's so that's like Groundhog's Day for us. So that is going to be nullified. The access that the Dark Hats has to envoys must be restricted. Okay, so number three, I want for all envoys within the next 72 hours to have a healing. I want them to have a boost of energy, a boost of clarity. I want any kind of mind fog to be removed. I want a lot of us have been targeted to where we can't connect with love or goodness. There's like technology that they place right here. It's etheric
yeah.
and it completely closes your heart and it blocks you from feeling source. And that I don't know more torture than that. Like that's the worst of
And
the
that's what
worst.
I had that.
Yeah, because yours is right,
Yeah, it
but
was,
I'm going to work on yours.
yeah.
Um, okay, number four, since we are playing on an uneven, come on, phone. Since we are playing this Earth game on an uneven playing field, battlefield, I request that there be some kind of action taken in removing traumas from cellular memory, MK Ultra, and assisting the healing the damages caused by nefarious actions of those agencies involved in all secret space programs. Sorry, I wrote these down. Secret governments, anything that we were used in, because that wasn't part of free will. That was free will taken away from us. Because, yeah.
I don't think we ever had free will. I don't think
Yeah, right.
I don't think they know what free will is, to be honest.
So, well, yeah, because everyone has an agenda, but any kind of technology that was used to split us through torture, trauma, that needs to be healed. And I know from my Syrian connections and my Andromedan connections that there can be frequencies sent to the planet that can heal that, just like that.
Yeah.
So I asked that for the envoys as well. Right. Secret programs that used abuse and torture to split consciousness. This can be done as I know that healing frequencies can easily be sent to the planet. So that was what was in that meeting. After that, I was pulled out of that meeting again. We were put into a transport craft and or a scout ship, sorry. And we went to the flew to the Intergalactic Confederation ship. Now, this is the ship that's just like a giant, it's like a giant geode, and it has all the crystal technology into it. I presented all of this to them and asked for help. Um, one of the statements I made to them, because they'll listen more, was the argument I made was there are a lot of envoys that need out. They're too damaged, it's too hard. And I know some of us, there's no way out, and I want there to be a way out. So I'm getting like really nervous right now. Sorry.
That's all right, no worries. We're not even live. No.
I know. So it's what we had talked about. I'm going to go to our text messages because that's where most of my notes are.
Yeah,
Because the moment I wake up, I tell you everything so that I don't
and then
forget.
yeah, yeah.
I know you have like novels on your text message. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to, I want to make sure you guys, you and Clark were able to express directly this information because
And I think that Clark Kent is good because if you know, then you know who he is. So you know that we're telling the truth here. So what my guy did upstairs, is it okay if I talk about this? Yes. Okay.
okay, yes.
I know, like I'm asking. So because our guys have been and our gals have been begging this and it's fallen on deaf telepathy, deaf ears. My guy kind of snuck a bargaining chip. And yeah, I wish I could mention that, but I can't.
No, no, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a bargaining chip. We have leverage.
Hmm.
So I know you're going to say, well, why would they listen to you? We have leverage. I have leverage. I do want to tell all the envoys, make deals. Like in your own private chambers, make deals. Your partners are busy up there. They are working. We're going to get this done. We have a bargaining chip. But if you feel like you can't make it, if you feel like if you are suffering so bad right now that you can't make it, I want your voice to be heard. Make deals, make deals, make deals. Like whatever you can use to bargain with, use it. At this point, do what it takes. It's not right that we don't have free will to live or choose to not live because we're just put right back.
We're slaves. I don't
Right.
care what anybody says. There's no free will. We're slaves. That's why the contracts are null and void.
So, what the Intergalactic Confederation people, I was with the Altians and the Batal, they stated if the other envoys feel the same as you, which I know you guys do, then we will concede. Now, they're not talking about what everything that I just mentioned is already going to happen. That's not what they're going to concede to. They're conceding to allow some of us that can no longer be here because it's too traumatic to either swap out or or something. We're still working on the logistics of that and how it'll work and what it'll look like. But I'll keep everybody posted. If you don't feel like you're heard, I'm gonna ask this, and I know it's a lot to ask, but You can either, again, email one of us, leave your name and just your first name and your city that you live in, and then the word help.
Mhm.
Um, Again, your channel, my email, and your email are going to be watched by them.
Yes.
So if anybody out there feels like they're not heard or things aren't happening, please write because I don't want anybody left behind.
Nope.
This is all of us. It's going to happen for all of us.
And it's over 200 million, and some of them don't even know they're part of us, and that's too bad. It's
Right. It's go time.
oh yeah. I mean, I've been doing this since last spring. I let them have it last spring.
There's no I talk to people. I am really close friends with certain people that I work with upstairs, but they have no chance of remembering down here because especially one close person I know is being rewound and mind wiped every day at the end of the day. And I can't sit by and watch. Like I'm watching people like they open up to me and I'm like this, we're moving forward and then by the end of the day the next day it's like we have to start over again and I'm I'm disgusted and it's just going to end. So um again, they made me a liaison between envoys and being heard. So if there's anything that any of you need and you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere by yelling into your chamber at night, please email. And I'm exhausted now.
Well, I was just yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
careful what you put into this. So it's been
Yeah. So I know if you're up for it, Andrea, I would like to do a still continue a part two
yes.
because in sharing my story, I'm kind of trying to show others that there are bargaining chips, there are things that you can do. A lot of us have, and what I found in my work with clients is that a lot of people have etheric technology that was placed by the Greys or by other ETs, and it's not seen or noticed by anybody else. The only reason I know it exists because I found by accident a way to remove my own. And since I have, I can see it in everybody else. So I don't want anyone to feel hopeless. I don't want anyone to be, I'm not going to cry. I don't want anyone to go through what I've gone through and feel like as isolated and alone as I've been. So we
Me,
can
and
do
then
this.
listening to all this bullshit about golden ages and oh, the ships are all going to come in 2027 now. And I'm just like, shut the fuck.
No, you know what?
And it's so good. I talked to my star family and everybody's so I'm going to play with your DNA and let's sing a song together and all, I'm just like, fuck you. I just
But the thing is, if you are in that mindset, you're MK Ultra. So
exactly.
that
Exactly.
needs to break.
Yeah.
That needs to break.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody out there who's saying that it's all great and
Yeah, I
wonderful,
mean, are they on a, I
what the
mean, I'm just
fuck
like,
are you talking about?
are you insane? I mean, it's just, come on, people.
And I understand that predecessors who have shared what's going on upstairs are trying to keep the world hopeful and
That's not
trying to
real.
keep, but it's not reality.
Not
And
reality.
it makes it made people like me feel like something was wrong with me
Yes.
and make me feel like I was isolated because I wasn't making it. I
Yeah.
didn't feel any of this love and light.
And people aren't, what they're doing? They're just, it's like a drug. They call it, toxic positivity. The majority of people who watch these people, they're all buying their products and all that stuff. They're going batshit crazy. So they're giving their money and paying attention. Maybe if I just fix my soul, I watched
But it's a
somebody was
setup.
saying,
And that's what when you're not honest like you are on your channel, when you're not just open with people don't need gatekeepers. People need to just say, "Hey, yeah, it's fucked up here. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, we're all fucked up. Yeah, this, that, that." It be real. It doesn't have to be.
This is a regressive trash planet. Remember
But
where you came
we're
from.
all adults though, and my point is we can hear the truth. We're grown enough now to hear the truth. We don't need that hopium anymore. Just tell me the truth and tell me what I need to do and I'll do it,
Yes.
kind of thing.
No, you got to address the problem. There's a huge, massive elephant in the room, and no one's addressing the problem. The house is on fire, and they're still having a dinner party. It's like the house is on fire.
Right, right.
You're the toxic negative. You're so negative. Your house is on fire. Oh, doesn't it feel so much warmer in here? I'm like, you're not gonna fucking die. You're so negative. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just so you can't so much of that you can't. I can't take it. That's why I don't talk to anybody. I have to be alone all day long, day after day after day, because I literally can't handle anything. Literally, I mean,
Well, I would, if I had Jesse, I would be fine being alone because he's
that's wrong
amazing.
with the animals. They're not insane. That's what it is. Everybody's insane, and it's just I can't take it. But on
So
the right side, we are kicking ass, and that's I think it's important to say to people like they might be saying, how come my husband, my wife, my daughter, or whoever's upstairs, how come my family members upstairs, how come they didn't kick ass and fight for me? It's like because they didn't they because there's
because they couldn't, their hands are tied.
yeah, there's no such that's the thing. See, everybody drank the Kool-Aid. There's no such
Right.
thing as free will. There's a lot of assholes all over the place, upstairs, downstairs. It doesn't make any difference. And it's like no one is being like we're all told lies about how wonderful we are. And that's really true. I mean, that's true. The problem is it's gaslighting because once you're incarnated anywhere, you're suddenly shit. Unless you're part of an elite group that makes the decisions for somebody else. I always tell people ad nauseum, never, ever, ever let anyone make decisions for you. Never, ever a
Nobody,
government or a power
not
structure.
even as somebody who's you've hired to read for you, not
No,
even somebody who you've, it all comes from you. Don't give your power away to anybody. I want to make a point.
it's the ring of
Um,
power that Tolkien talked about. The ring of power corrupts everyone. So the minute you
I
put
agree.
somebody in power over anyone else anywhere in the galaxy,
It's never gonna work.
you're in a
It'll never work.
you're an idiot. That's all I'm gonna say.
I want to, my guy and me want to make a statement, because you had just said something about don't blame your star family. I, I've been so angry about what I've dealt with down here that I basically told my partner up there to fuck off and I blamed him. I blamed him for everything and I didn't realize how it broke his heart because he tried to fight for me and he was silenced and yet he didn't even have me to talk about it with because I was so angry with him. So like don't blame your star family because they've been trying to. Um they're nobody's been listening to them either. So I just wanted to say that because
We're all enslaved, and until people realize that we are all enslaved, they'll never wake up.
and there's going to be changes as well as far as how we get to connect with our star family. Just for envoys, everything I'm talking about, I'm speaking to envoys. Um, we're going to be able to have physical contact, more personal, individual, like in our bedrooms when we need that because we need the support. So that's going to happen too now. Again, we have and this amazing bargaining ship. So if there's something I'm missing, if any of you, if I'm missing like a subject here that I haven't thought of, that I haven't brought up, please, please again, email or write it under the comments. All right, I'm getting very weak.
Yes, I was gonna say we've been on there. I was gonna shut you off at half an hour, so
I gotta put my food back on.
your food back on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off at half an hour
Thank you.
because
Thank you,
it's too
Andrea.
much for you. Keep your keep fighting whatever that it is. What are you gonna do? It's just
Um,
sad that we have to go through this down here, and nobody. Then they could fix it, and they don't. I mean, they could seriously just fix it without anybody knowing, but they just don't because they don't care. So.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna make it known now.
I never believed,
And
never, I never believed in karma, but now I hope it's real.
say that again.
I never believed in karma, but now I hope it's real. Because what's coming to them, if that, if there is such a thing, yeah, they need it. They need to get it. They need to feel some karma.
Well, a lot of them stepped down. It literally, and I feel like I'm just this broken human who's again, like I'm standing there in my t-shirt underwear with my greasy hair, with my IV line in, my pick line, and I'm
Yeah,
we each have bargaining chips and things are going to change now.
exactly, exactly. Just don't drink
But
opium and start fighting. That's the thing.
yeah, but anyways, so I think I covered everything. If I didn't, we will cover it next time.
Yeah. And if anybody has any questions or anything, we can just, definitely ask, guys, you got to take your own power and ask some questions. Any questions you have, put them in the comments and we will talk to you. I know Erica has some, she'll be in and out for her, healing and everything. But, if I can get the message across, you want to talk to me or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in this together, and together is the only way that we're going to make a difference. We can do this. This is going to happen, though.
Yeah. There's nothing that pisses me off more than anybody, I don't care where they are, that thinks they're better than somebody else and won't answer them back. That nothing will grind my gears. I always tell people, I used to be my whole life this very quiet, shy, do everything right, the
Right.
good girl, right? And for that, and I never wanted rewards or awards or be noticed. I never wanted to be noticed.
That's the Pleiadian way. Like we do it because it's the right thing to do, not because you ever want anything. Yeah.
No, and all the way along the way, like so many of our viewers, you just had dirt kick in your face, and you just like, and then at some point in your life, you just break and you find rage. 30
Yeah. But
years,
I
and you're like, oh,
I lived I lived in that rage, but what that rage did to me was I turned it inward and then I turned it on them.
Mhm.
So it blocked me from knowing what I could do to change my situation. So
Yeah,
there's just there's a lot more that we can do, but we will cover all of it eventually.
eventually, yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So yeah, keep in touch with us, of course. As we move forward with this, we need your support. We need you.
I need to hear what you're going through because then we can bring it upstairs and make the change. If I don't know what change needs to be made, you know what I mean?
Right,
If there's
exactly.
something I'm missing that you guys have an extra
Yeah.
piece and
What do you write? Is there something you want? What
right,
demand you have? Put them in the comments or talk to us personally, whatever. I think putting them in the comments is a great thing because other people will see it.
right.
If you talk to us personally, obviously, yes, talk to us personally, but share your thoughts with everyone in the comments so we can get the ball rolling and we can get people in touch with each other or what have you, right? So that's
And
the
then and also let us know if you've noticed any kind of break in targeting, as far as satellites, DEW attacks, and mind, feeling better. Just if you had just a little bit of a boost of energy in the
yeah.
last few days. Because if that's working, then we can continue that and grow it and make it even more exponentially strong.
Yeah, because if it's not working and you're still having problems, then we need to tell
Then
you
yeah, we need to address it right away, right away.
exactly. Exactly. So I'm gonna post this in a lot of SSP sites and stuff like that. And guys, please share this video to organizations and groups that you belong to so that we don't leave any people behind who may still be suffering. Um,
Yeah.
and they can
And
use this.
again, yeah, Starseed envoys.
Yeah, yeah,
That's who we're addressing right now.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Erica.
you.
And we'll be moving forward in this battle one by one. That's right. That's right. On to the next. All right. All right. Blessings and peace and joy to everyone. So very cool. All right. Thanks.